kind of main, so obviously you got a lump and that's how you detected that you needed to go and do something or go get checked. What are the other symptoms of breast cancer that women can get?
So this is really important that people understand this, that there are several different things that could show signs of breast cancer. And you might not get all of them. You might just get one, you might get one or two. And the only way that you will know if there's a difference is if you examine your breast regularly. Now, if I first start with kind of what different things that you might see a change in shape. So, you know, I've heard a lot of women say, well, my one breast is bigger than the other one anyway. I'm like, yes, but you will know the difference in that if you regularly check your breast. So if it goes a little bit bigger or it shrinks a lot more than what you know is normal, or the shape of it changes, you will know what's different to the normality of what your breasts look like. So a change in shape, a lump like I had, you might have your skin texture might change. I always say to people, you know, like an orange skin where it gets indented, that sort of thing. Your breast might get indented. You might get inverted nipples. That might be another reason. You might get swelling. You might get pain in your breasts, and you might get discharge from your nipple. All of these.
You don't need to get a lump to have signs.
No, absolutely not. I've met people who actually their nipple inverted, they had an inverted nipple, and that was like, oh, that's really odd, that doesn't look normal, and actually that was because they had breast cancer, and the cancer generally, they say, starts from your nipple. So so yeah, the nipple skin part. So that's important to understand that, you know, you don't have to just get a lump. I know people who have had a rash which hasn't gone away, and that's caused it, itching it sometimes, you know. So it doesn't have to be all of the symptoms. It can be one or two. So don't just assume that it's a lump.
Right, okay, fine. And you said obviously to examine, we need to be examining regularly. Like, how regular are we talking? How often would you say?
You only have to examine your breast regularly. I say is once a month.
Okay.
You should do it a few days after your periods. And the only reason for that is because during your menstrual cycle, your breast tissues are a lot harder anyway and lumpier. Yeah. So it makes it a lot more difficult to examine your breast and get a real idea of what your breasts feel like. So a few days, I'd say, 4 or 5 days, 5 days after your period ended, you should examine your breast. And literally, it's so easy to do. It would take, I'm not lying, 2 minutes. Wow. All you have to do is literally use your 3 or 4 fingers, the tip of it, and put pressure on your breast, going round in circles from your nipple all the way out.
Right, okay, so around the nipple. Like
start from your nipple point and go all the way round in circular motion, all the way around to your outer breast, all the way up your underarm here, and up to your collarbone.
Right, okay. Like
and you need to put up this arm here. The breast that you're going to examine, that's the arm that you pull up because it just stretches the muscles there.
Yeah.
And then you do the same with the other arm and you examine that way as well.
Yes. And then like that, basically.
That's it. It literally takes 2 minutes to do. And I always say to people, the best time to do it is just before going in for the shower. And the only reason for that is because it's then not a chore to take your clothes off, put your clothes back on. You're going in for a shower anyway. You're going to take your clothes off anyway. And the reality is, we're human beings. We want things to be simple. We want it quick. We're busy. We've got things to do. We've got work, kids to look after, house chores, friends to meet, family to look after. We don't want things that are going to add pressure or more time onto our diaries or our home lives. So that's why I say 2 minutes of your life once a month could potentially save your life.
That's amazing. That is amazing. I mean, that's nothing.
It's nothing, I do now. I put a reminder in my diary.
Oh, that's a really good idea. Like, we've got apps and stuff that we can order text on. Anyway, like, I guess even the cycle apps that we have about periods and stuff, put it on there.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, that's a really good idea. Actually.
You know when your periods are going to be, generally women do. They know that date that they're expecting for it to come. And let's be honest, we all plan our outfits and our outfits and our day outs with friends during that period. Oh, I don't want to be out in the first 2 days, or I don't want to do this. Yeah. see this as linked to your menstrual cycle. 5 days after, put a reminder in. I put a reminder in because I'll be honest, I live on my calendar. If something's not in my calendar, it's not going to happen because I've got way too many things to do.
I know. You're a busy mom, aren't you, as well?
So, you know, put it in your diary. Do what's easy for you.
I love it. I love these tips. They're brilliant, honestly. Now, should anyone get any symptoms, like you said, any itchiness or anything that's out of the ordinary, I guess, what should they do?
Go to your GP.
Yeah.
First and foremost, call your GP and get an appointment booked. I really, really encourage people to not be scared or, you know, or be hesitant to book an appointment because they can't get an appointment with a female doctor. Now, this is another, and I think maybe it's a little bit controversial, but maybe I've been through it. So I understand the severity of what it is now. And I just think that we have got to get past this. Now, you know, I've spoken to many women who've said, well, I didn't book an appointment because I was told it's a male doctor and I cancelled my appointment. I don't want to get a male doctor to check my breasts. And I said, okay, I completely understand it. And it is uncomfortable. Don't get me wrong. My surgeon was male. My oncologist was male. I didn't have a choice to get a female oncologist. I don't know how long I would have had to wait.
When it comes to your life, it's
you know, and the first time the male surgeon examined my breast, I was cringing. That is the honest truth. I absolutely hated it because it's uncomfortable. You are told.
It's not normal.
It's not normal. Of course it's not. You know, you're topless, lying on a bed with a male surgeon looking over you, feeling your breast. It is not normal. But when you have to look at the other scale, if that is what's going to save my life and I have no other option, then I'm blimmin' well going to do it, you know. So if you can ask for a female doctor at the GP, then please go ahead and do it. But if they're telling you that that's going to take another 2 weeks for your appointment, please do not delay it. You know, when we're women, we get pregnant. And when we have to go into labor, we don't get a choice at the end of that time. When we've gone into labor, if our doctor is going to be male or female, and I can promise you, when you're giving birth, that is a much worse position to be in front of a male doctor than
That's so true.
So please, all I can say is don't let that hinder you going to the doctors or seeing the doctor, because, you know, every week, every day is so crucial in getting your treatment plans done at the right time, especially if you have caught the cancer at a later stage and your lump is big. So
those weeks can really can affect,
of course they can. You know, these are cancer cells. They can grow at the speed that they want to grow at, and nobody knows at that time how quick your cancer cells are growing. So it's important to contact your GP.
Brilliant point there, honestly, Iyna. Now you've obviously been supporting, I know because I've spoken to you before this, but you've been supporting other women through breast cancer. You have done it through you've got a charity, it's called Succumb Through Breast Cancer. So tell me a bit about this. When was this set up? What's the purpose and aim of it?
So Succumb Through Cancer was set up about the ideas about wanting to set it up started about a year after mine and Samina's cancer treatment ended, and the reason for that was during my treatment.
Someone who was set up.
Yes, but Samina Hussain, is the co-founder of the charity. I met Samina at my chemotherapy sessions. And Samina was at the end of her chemotherapy sessions and I was at the beginning. So Samina was diagnosed in 2014. So she was a good about eight months ahead of me in my treatment plan. And Samina was also very young when she was diagnosed. She was only 45 when she was diagnosed as well. Again, under the radar of your national screening unit. And she met me at the chemotherapy unit. I kind of walked in and they gave me a chair near her. And I looked understandably looked completely petrified walking in. And I think the reality when I walked in on that day was I had walked in with a full head. And when I walked in, every woman that was sitting there had no hair. And I think that was a point of realization that that is going to be me soon. And I kind of sat next to Samina, and she basically said hi and welcomed me and, you know, introduced herself and wrote her name and a number on a piece of paper. And she handed it to me and she said, if you've got anything that you want to talk about, anything at all, just call me or drop me a line. And I looked at her and I said, thank you so much. And initially, I'll be honest, I thought, why the heck am I going to call a random stranger about my treatment plan? Not going to happen, not doing it. And I didn't in the beginning. But what happened, I think it was about a week and a bit after I had lost all my hair, I was getting really severe pain in my scalp and my head. And I
say that again. That's okay.
There.
What happened? So you got pain on your scalp?
Yes, I got really severe pain on my scalp and my head, and I couldn't figure out what it was. And I thought, okay, I have nobody else to message or call. I don't know anybody who's had cancer, who has got cancer now. What do I do? So I messaged Samina and I text her saying, hi, I'm not sure if you remember me. I met you at the chemotherapy unit at Windsor Parapet. I've got a really severe pain in my head and I wondered if you could help. And she's like, oh my God, of course I remember you. What's up? I said, I've got a really bad pain in my head and I can't seem to figure out what it is. And she said, okay, have you lost your hair? And I said, yeah, I've lost all my hair already. And she said, okay, do you have any hair left? I said, yeah, maybe 3 or 4 strands. She said, okay, you need to shave them off now. I said, what do you mean? Because you need to shave them off because they won't come off themselves now. And that's what's causing the pain. Each hair follicle will feel like a ton of bricks on your head. And I said, are you sure? And she said, yeah. And I said, okay. So I went and did that. And the pain went instantly. Yeah. It was literally like a miracle. And that day made me realize, oh my goodness, if I didn't have Samina there, I would be carrying on with that pain throughout my treatment, thinking it's normal. And that's why Sukoon started.
If you've been affected by any of the issues that we've discussed, there is help out there. There are resources and some websites that we've got linked down in the description box below. Thank you.